What up, 2K supporters? Sorry for another car video. I'm getting the studio set up, or should I say just a spot at my crib that looks like a fucking studio. So I'm just trying to get everything together. So until then, I still want to kind of keep the content flowing outside of the versus battles, which, man, I really appreciate y'all's support. The Eminem and Wayne versus the first one is at 60K right now. So I couldn't have even imagined getting that far, you know, with really just wanting to do it. It wasn't really anything I was posting. And as a content creator, when you post stuff, you're like, oh, this is going to get views. You know, you're trying to get the views so that you can get monetized, so that you can start doing something you love, you know, in the short. But man, I was just like, man, this is a versus I would love to see. And I wonder if I could put it together like creatively. And it's not even the most creative shit I've done. It was just, I think that everyone gravitated to it because it was just like, damn, this is something we would love to see. So I appreciate y'all support on that. But anyways, let's get to the topic here. Should Tupac still be on anyone's top 5 if you're over 40? I think if you're over 40 years old, you're probably gonna just have Pac just living in that spot. But again, it kind of goes back to, you know, hip hop fans, especially like, you know, old heads as we would consider them. They're not, you know, they're not well versed in the upcoming music and really what's been happening in hip hop for the past 15 years, technically since Drake took over. So, you know, it's a tough question to answer. I get it. It's a tough question to answer. Should Pac still be in your top 5? I'm going to say yes. And the reason why I say that is because I think a top 5 should be versatile, and not versatile just in style. Because on the last video, we recapped about Future being in a top 5. And I know it's different from the lyrical miracle shit or like having bar gods. I'm saying in terms of time periods as well. It just must have to have that flexibility of, you know, having the Pac era, the Jigga era, the M era, because the early 2000s. But you know, if you want to throw DMX, cool. You want to throw DMX in there, you want to throw Nas in there, you know, it's somewhere in your top 5 to kind of compensate. But you know, the thing is, and I'll be honest, prior to Pac, which is like from like 89, which I was born, to like 90, what, Pac died in 96. From that, before that period, I don't even have one in my top 5. You know, I don't have a Rakim or an Eric B, or I don't have like an Ice Cube. You know, I just hear old heads talk about, you know, Big Daddy Kane and Ice Cube and Big L, and you know what I'm saying? So and really, if you talk to most people, see, this is the thing, and I know this is a tough topic this is a tough pill to swallow, but prior to Pac, man, hip hop just really wasn't like that for real. You know, it was kind of just still getting its footing, and the talent was there. But if you go back and you listen, because I've been exposed to that era prior to Pac, if you go back and you listen, it's really on some, you know, it's just not, it ain't hitting, man. The lyricism just quite ain't, you know, it's not quite there, you know, like that KRS-One era and all that. So but you know, I did like Vanilla Ice. I did like Vanilla Ice, man. I thought Vanilla Ice was cold, bro. You know, so I get it. I get that era. But yeah, man. So with Pac being in the top 5, man, he hasn't aged out. If you go back and you listen to Pac, he's still relevant to this day, and not relevant in subject matter. He is, but more relevant in the lyricism and the way he present the, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you guys remember, if you're a Pac fan, you absolutely remember, after Pac passed away, Pac, you know, he was still putting out albums because other producers were coming and laying his vocals on, you know, modernized beats. This had to have been in like, it was a song called Uppercut. And it was a song that Pac already pre-recorded. Like, these lyrics were pre-recorded. There wasn't no AI back then. The lyrics were pre-recorded. They were laying them on modernized beats. And man, that shit was going hard, bro. Damn. Like, Pac still bringing the heat. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that's reason number 2. I think Pac should still be, you know, in your top 5 or living within your top 5. And, you know, like I tell the youngins, man, so I'm 36, but when I talk to younger dudes and they like 22, 23, I always ask, I'm so interested. I always ask them, what's your top 5? You know, Pac don't be nowhere near it. Jay-Z ain't even nowhere near it. The last kid I talked to, I think it was not a kid, it was a guy who was like 23. And he said that this will blow your mind if you're my age. I said, what's your top 5? And he said, number 1 is Kanye. So his Rolodex, his hip hop Rolodex went as far back as just Ye. Now Kanye is what, 2005, 2006, and that's probably what, when he was born, if he's 23 or 24, right? Let's see, 2000 is 26. So yeah, he may have been born around 2002, 2004, and that's as far back as his Rolodex goes. You know, and I asked him about Jay-Z, and I said, what about Jay? And he said, you know, and I said, have you done like a full deep dive? Because on my channel, you know, the way I started my channel, I was doing discographies, like from start to finish. Like, I'm talking, if it was 10, 12 albums, bro, I'm going through each one. I'm rating each song. Like, this used to take me like a month just to do one video. And I loved it because I could go back, and even things that I forgot, or even artists I never quite explored, I got into it, you know? So I asked him, I said, have you gone through the discography? And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, you know, like, started from the jump of like Reasonable Doubt, because he said, oh no, I know Blueprint. I said, yeah, Blueprint, cool. But he said, I know Black Album. I said, that's cool, but do you know about Reasonable Doubt? And he's like, nah, I've never really listened. I'm like, see, you need to go from Reasonable Doubt, then you know, like the Life and Times of Jay-Z. You need to go through, like, you know, the whole, I can't think off top, but the whole Rolodex of, you know, what Jay contributed to the game, and kind of earned an appreciation for it. And at least if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I get it, you know, because I mean, even dudes my age, you know, I don't hear Jay a whole lot. I know he's a big influence in the game commercially, but you know, like I said, folks is stuck on just a certain type of music that they like, or saying that, you know, lyrically Nas is better than Jay. And I think that's debatable. Of course, it's a fucking big ass debate, but you know, they get stuck on something and say, well, nah, Jay ain't like in my top 5. Like, what you mean? Like, when we talk about like Biggie, or like, you know, or motherfucking Nas, or shit, DMX will eat them up. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? But anyways, just like expanding your palette. But so anyways, yeah, man, so it would kind of shock you, these younger guys who, you know, they're not even considering Pac. So if this kid was thinking of Kanye, and I introduced Jay-Z into his mental, and he's like, yeah, I know about him. Imagine what he would actually know about Pac or Biggie, but specifically Pac being in his top 5. Like, it's with this generation, and like all the time has passed, like his parents would know about Pac, but have they introduced that into his dialect? Like, I don't know. And that's why I say it's a good question. Should Pac still exist in everyone's top 5? I say yes. Don't let it die. You know, do not let that die. You know, but, and that's why I say, I know I sound hypocritical, because I'm like, when I ask old heads like what their top 5 is, and they say Biggie and Pac and fucking whatever bullshit. But my point is this, right? So I don't sound hypocritical. I just want to make this clear. All I'm saying is, update your top 5. Like, really look at music from then and now, and don't just shun the music now and say that, well, we ain't got shit now, nobody good. It's like, hold the fuck up. Have you actually heard Kodak Black? Like, that motherfucker really be spitting. I'm not saying top 5, but what I'm saying is, like, yo, Young boy do be spitting, bruh. J. Cole do be spitting. Kendrick do be spitting, bruh. Like, I'm just saying, these are new rappers. Drake will forever be in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? But mine is expansive. I got M at number 1. I got Jay. I got Drake. I got Pac. I got Wayne. Like, interchangeable, throw Future in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, really expand your palette. But yeah, man, so the answer is yes. And I think Pac should still live in your top 5. And again, I appreciate support for the channel. Give me a super thanks, man. Hit that thing, man. Start getting this thing monetized, bro. Like, so I can get some updated shit. Like, I'm still trying to get the crib ready to really present some good videos. So I'm gonna need that going forward. And but if not, it's cool. I love this shit. So I appreciate y'all, and see y'all in the next video. 2K.